With the 15th pick and with the 26th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Washington Redskins select Dwayne Haskins, Montez Sweat.
Welcome, all my fellow Redskin brethren and sister. I am your man and resident Redskins fan, Luke. Thank you for joining me here on the Redskins Report. We're live. Preseason game numero dos. At home opener in the preseason, Cincinnati Bengals. Should be a good test because I don't think the Bengals are going to be a very good team this year either. And so it's a little bit more even than what we saw last week. And again, not many of our players played last week. So this is going to be probably the next 2 weeks. Really, for me, weeks 2 and 3 in the preseason are more of a gauge as to where you are as a football team and how prepared you'll be for week 1. You're going to see a lot more of the starters tonight, not for a very long time, but just the fact that we're going to see a lot of these guys on the field for the first time is exciting. Sounds like right now we're going to be without 2 of our receivers. No Paul Richardson, and by all accounts, he's not even close to playing yet. So I don't know where he is right now in terms of his health. But also no Trey Quinn, who hurt himself, I think, about 3 or 4 days ago at practice, and something with his thumb. So it doesn't seem like he's going to play tonight either. I'm hearing that it's not a big deal, but anytime a guy gets injured and not able to go, it's a big deal to me. No Colt McCoy, obviously. I told you he wasn't going to play a couple of days ago when he got rolled up on at practice. And you know, it doesn't take much for Colt to miss action. So, and I'm not actually not that all upset about that, to be honest with you, because the guys that we want to see, more in particular, the guy we want to see is Dwayne Haskins. Less snaps for Colt means more snaps for Dwayne, which is good for all of us. We're going to see Montez Sweat in this football game, which is a good thing. His NFL and Redskins debut tonight on the field, number 90. So that's exciting. Going to see a lot of the young receivers. I expect to see a lot more of Kelvin Harmon. We're going to see really our first look at Terry McLaurin tonight. So a lot of guys that I'm anxious to see, we're going to get to see tonight, and I know you're anxious to see them as well. So looking forward to what the Redskins are able to do in this game. And again, not so much the outcome, even though any game you play in, you want to win. The biggest thing is health. Come out of this thing healthy. As I said last week, 1 through 5, the top 5 things I'm looking for in this game: come out healthy, number 1, come out healthy, number 2, come out healthy, number 3, come out healthy, number 4, come out healthy, number 5. Development of players is also on the list at number 5 as well. So health is the biggest key. You want to come out of this thing the way you go in, healthy and ready to go. Redskins are going to start this game out on defense. They're kicking off, and so we'll get this game underway. So I'm going to try to pull up your comments here. So he catches it at the 10 and has a nice little lane. And D-Hop tried to make a tackle, and that was a piss-poor attempt at a tackle as he almost gets out to midfield. So not a great start necessarily for the Redskins on their kick coverage as they give up some great field position. And it's going to put our defense in a tough situation. Andy Dalton coming on the field. I want to see how they react. No Sean Deion Hamilton. Remember, he had the chest contusion from last week's game. Hasn't been right, and so he hasn't practiced. He's going to be out. So you're going to see a lot of Cole Holcomb tonight, and probably going to see some, let's see who they have out there. Yeah, I thought they would put him out there. Josh Harvey Clemens to start the game alongside John Bostic. So we'll see how long it is before we see Cole Holcomb in the football game. But 1st and 10, they run bootleg. Fabian Moreau comes up. Nice fill by Landon Collins. And look, that's what we expect from Landon Collins right there. Coming up like a damn steaming goddamn missile on that first play. Great blitz off the edge by Fabian Moreau. And right there to come in and fill for a gain of 1 at best was Landon Collins. So that's a great start to the game for the Redskins there, as it's a gain of 1 for the Bengals. 2nd and 9 from about the Redskins' 44-yard line. 45 is where they have the football. They go with a run play to Joe Mixon. Man, is this guy good. Damn, he stiff-armed the hell out of Jano. I think it's coming back, though. There's a flag on the play. I'm assuming holding. It may be offsides. We're going to see that flag came out very quickly, so it could be offsides. I'm going to go with holding, as I'm hoping it's holding. Boy, that was a vicious stiff arm. God damn. Put J-No on his ass. Yikes. Let's hope that it's a holding penalty and it comes back. Okay, so it's offsetting penalties, holding on the offense, and personal foul, lowering the helmet to make contact. They're calling that on us. Those penalties are going to offset, and it's going to be a repeat of 2nd and 9 from the Redskins, or from their own 45-yard line. Boy, that was a vicious stiff arm J-No just took. Yikes. Zoinks! But the Redskins starters are on the field, and anxious to see how these guys look in action. Ryan Anderson getting the start as we would assume he would. I don't anticipate him finishing the season. And Sweat is in the game right now, guys, at left defensive end. So let's see what he looks like, man. I was anxious to see how he would perform. It's a run to his side, cut back. And Deron Payne and company, a late flag, and that's probably going to be on the Redskins there. Maybe for some extracurricular activity there. Holding, I see. That might be on the Redskins for holding. Okay, yeah, it's on them. Holding, send them back 10 yards. And that's going to make it 2nd and 19 now. So now I think we're in a position. Hey, appreciate it, Brian. The super chat, man. Really do appreciate that. 2nd and 19. DeMarco Williams says, nice night for football. Ah, Louie? Yeah, man. I thought it was going to be a little bit rainy. It's storming. J.P. Finley had said that he didn't think a lot of people would be in attendance because of the weather and traffic. But the weather looks fine to me. I was hoping it wouldn't be wet and nasty out. Another handoff, this time for Gio Bernard. All right, let him go. Flag, and we just gave him a first down. That's dumb. That's stupid. Deron Payne with a dumb play there. They blew the whistle, and he throws him down on the ground for what? It was second. It was going to be 3rd and 17. That's dumb football. That's how you lose football games in this league. That's stupid. Now it's a first down, and it was going to be 3rd and 17. That's dumb. Was it Jonathan Allen or Deron Payne? Which one was it? Oh, it's Jonathan Allen. Looking at it on second thought, on second look, I didn't think it was that bad. But still, there's no reason to throw him on the ground there. But I didn't think he slammed him. It looked like he slammed him when you watched it initially. Either way, it's a dumb penalty in the kind that we can't afford to have. The reason we started off the season 6-3 last year was because we stayed out of stupid situations like that. Oh, they about to call J-No for leading with the helmet on that play. So Redskins are killing themselves on this drive. And he just picked up another penalty. So this is going to be 30 yards worth of penalties on Josh Norman on one play for leading with the helmet, which I don't really like this call because the receiver fell and kind of fell into the contact with the helmet. But okay, fine. They called that penalty. Then he gets upset, gets in the face of the official, gives him a piece of his mind. And now that's going to net them another 15 yards. You're talking about 30 yards worth of penalty. We are literally giving them a touchdown on this possession. Least points. Yeah. You're gonna essentially put them inside the Redskins 20-yard line after 30 yards worth of penalties. Again, you can't have that. I know it's a preseason and you don't like the call, and I don't like the call either. The receiver's going down for the ball. Josh is going for the ball. It's a bad call. But don't make a bad call worse by then berating the official and getting an additional 15-yard penalty. Again, that's a bad call. It's a bad call by the official, but a bad call became a worse call because now it's 30 yards worth of penalties. And on the last 2 plays, the Redskins have accumulated 45 yards worth of penalties. Now the ball sits at the Redskins' 15-yard line. And again, I don't like either one of the calls, but it is what it is. And now you got to stand up as a defense and not give up anything here. Sweat's on the field. You've also got Jimmy Moreland on the field in the slot. He throws it up. And Landon Collins one-on-one with Tyler Eifert and incomplete pass there as it's 2nd down and 10 from the Redskins 15-yard line. Collins in coverage, a little bit of an overthrow. I don't think Collins even knew where the football was there. He never looked back. So if that ball's on the money, it's probably a catch, to be honest with you. But nonetheless, all right, let's see what we got now. 2nd and 10 from the Redskins 15. I think this is going to be a run. They go with the jet sweep here, and they Redskins sniff it out quickly, and I think it's going to be holding on the Bengals. A flag came out really early. There's a lot of penalty flags early in this game, and it is, in fact, a holding penalty on the Bengals here. Going to send them back and make it 2nd and 20 from the Redskins' 25-yard line. Hopefully the Redskins don't do anything stupid now to give them a free first down yet again. Let's get to some of your comments, though. Once again, Brian, thank you for the super chat. Cody Smith says, what up, my Redskin broski? What's good, Cody? We Hauling It says, where the fans at in the crowd? Like I said, JP Finley said that it was a little rainy earlier and there's traffic, so he didn't think there would be a lot of fans at the game, and he's right. But let's not act like the fans are really interested right now, because they're not. Dalton with a strike over the middle to Josh Malone for a gain of about 16. So now you're setting up a 3rd and about 4. So Redskins come with a zone coverage. He runs right in the middle of the zone and able to pick up a nice chunk of yardage. So you go from 2nd and long to 3rd and manageable here. And now the Redskins got to come up with a stop on 3rd and 4 after you had them at 2nd and 20. So, or they got it marked at the 11, so it's 3rd and 7. I apologize. 3rd and 7. Look like the Redskins might come with some pressure. They don't. They rush for. Ball's tipped in the air, picked off by Monte Nicholson. He's going to go, guys. He's going all the way to the crib. It's going to be a pick 6 for Monte Nicholson as the Redskins defense gets on the board here. And I think that was Daron Payne with the deflection on the pass. And Monte Nicholson, Johnny on the spot to take it the distance, about 93 yards for a pick 6. Skins defense strikes first in this football game. It's 6-0 Skins. No penalty flags, most importantly, on the play. And yes, it was Daron Payne getting his long arm of the law up to deflect the football in the air. He was trying to throw the little arrow route over the middle of the field to the running back, Giovanni Bernard. And he was open. He had Josh Harvey Clemens beat on that play, but great instincts by Daron Payne to see that he wasn't getting to the quarterback, see that he was trying to throw it, get his big paw in the way, and Monte Nicholson showing off that 4.4 speed. Low snap, and it got smothered, and it was no good. The kick is no good on the extra point. Bad snap. The hold was, I think the hold was okay, but it messed up the timing of the play. And so it's 6-0 Redskins after the pick 6 by Monte Nicholson as the Redskins strike first on the defensive. And we're going to need that in the regular season. Seriously. I know I've talked about not thinking we were going to be all that great. One of the ways we can be a good football team, scoring on the defensive side of the football, or at least generating turnovers. You don't necessarily have to score defensively, but if you can generate turnovers, short fields for your offense, it's going to help this football team out greatly, and we're going to need it in 2019. So that's a great sign of this young Redskins defense making plays early on in the game as the Redskins strike first. Let's see. And then let's get to some more comments. That was a lot of fun. Fernie Rook says, how does Sweat look? Haven't seen anything from him yet. I've been watching him. Hasn't made any plays. Hasn't done anything of note yet. I want to see him in an obvious passing situation and what he does there. But nothing of note right now from Sweat. But great play by the defense. Ouija HTTR says, that's that Alabama coaching for you there with Payne. He says, get them hands up if you aren't going to make it to the quarterback. And that's exactly what he did on that play. And that's really refreshing to see right there as the Redskins get a big play from their defense. And as I mentioned already, that's something we're going to need from them throughout the regular season. That's fun to see right there. And that's the second week in a row. I know last week was against the backups, and it was with backups in the game. I don't care. Turnovers and forcing turnovers are a mindset. And last week, we got down by the goal line, and the defense stood strong and was able to force a turnover on a 4th down attempt by the Browns. This week, you self-inflict a bunch of wounds on the drive that allows the Bengals down the field, and you erase all of that with one play on a 3rd down. And so really happy to see the Redskins defensively stepping up and making plays. And so I would have been anxious to see if that ball isn't deflected, if Monte is able to get there in time to hit the running back over the middle of the field to stop that from being a completion, because he had beaten Josh Harvey-Clemens on that play. So it would have been interesting to see if that would have been a catch and a 1st down or possibly a touchdown. Kickoff is fielded 1 yard deep, and it's another really good return. We got to clean this up. He's able to get outside to the 31-yard line after a nice return again by Phillips. So 2 good returns by the Bengals to start off this game. We got to clean that up. But Redskins Pride WGIL says, does D-Hop have any competition this year? That kick wasn't his fault. No, he doesn't have any competition. Remember, he just got a new deal last year, so I don't see them getting rid of him unless he's just awful. That wasn't his fault. That was a bad snap. The hold wasn't the greatest. It messed up the timing of the play. I won't put that one on D-Hop in terms of that miss. So the Bengals start their drive at about the 31-yard line. It's a run, and they're not having it up the middle. That was Allen, that was Payne, and John Bostic all there on the stop for about a gain of 1, if that. So rush defense looking much better than it did last week, and of course you know why. And also Ioannidis was in there as well. Don't want to leave him out, as he was stout on that play as well. So after the gain of, I'll call it 1, it'll set up 2nd and 9 from the Redskins 30. So they gave him 2 yards on that to the Redskins 33-yard line, 2nd and 8. Let's see. Ryan Anderson is in right now, along with McKenzie. Casanova McKenzie is in as well. No more Kerrigan. He's probably done for the night after 1 possession for Ryan Kerrigan. They ran it again. That was another minimal gain, probably about a gain or 2, maybe 3. Let's see where they marked the ball. They put it at the 35, so that's a gain of 2, so it's going to be 3rd and 6. Bengals are in the shotgun here. Redskins have no sweat in the game right now. They come with a blitz. All right, they blew a whistle. Going to be a penalty on the offense. Redskins looked like they were going to hit home on that blitz as well. False start on the Bengals. So that's going to create a 3rd and 11 now. So we'll see if the Redskins still come with pressure. I surmise now with the 3rd and long situation set up, I'd like to see them get Montez Sweat. This is an obvious passing situation, 3rd and 11. I'd like to see them get Montez Sweat in there and let him rush. They're going to keep Ryan Anderson on the field with Casanova McKenzie in the game. So no Montez Sweat on the obvious passing situation. But we'll see plenty of Montez Sweat tonight. So we'll get plenty of Montez Sweat. So I'm not tripping. I would have loved to have seen him early in the game against the Bengals ones, though. But it's whatever. At the end of the day, I just want to see the man on the field and see him perform at a high level. So, again, Casanova McKenzie and Ryan Anderson are your 2 edge rushers, along with Ioannidis and Allen as your interior defensive linemen. 2 linebackers are Harvey Clemens and John Bostic. Redskins don't bring pressure, and they force a check down. Josh Harvey Clemens misses the initial tackle, but the Redskins rally to make the tackle 4 yards short of the sticks and are going to force the punt. So Redskins drop into a zone. Nothing there for Andy Dalton. He checks it down to the back out of the backfield. He makes the first defender, Josh Harvey Clemens, miss on the play, does the running back, but then is swallowed up by a gang of Redskins who swarm to the ball. Mostly John Bostic with the tackle there to force 4th and 3. Bengals going to have to punt. Let's see who's fielding this punt. Last week we had a Moreau imposter back there. I can't see if that's the same Moreau imposter again, number 31. Again, I would hope that that is actually Moreau back there, but I'm assuming that that's the same imposter from last week that tried to fool me, that did fool me actually, and it was one of you guys that was able to help me out and get me to understand that that was not. I think his name is Wilson, if I'm not mistaken. That you guys helped me out, so I didn't keep calling it Moreau. But if he's not going to make the team, you need someone back there that is actually going to be fielding the punts. From what I'm understanding, they're going to have Trey Quinn back there fielding the punts. And that's why we haven't seen a real punt returner back there because they think Trey Quinn is going to be the guy to do it. But I've heard Jay already say he really doesn't want Trey Quinn back there because he's such a vital part of the offense. So I don't really know what to make of our punt returning situation. Jay is scarred from last year and 2 years ago with Jamison Crowder. So I don't really know what he's going to do, and I'm not sure if he really wants to put anybody of note back there. But I just know Jay's scarred a bit. So let's get back to your comments, though. So, again, I'm not going to blame D-Hop for that kick, Redskins pride. That was a bad snap, and the hold wasn't great because of the bad snap. It just messed up the whole timing of the operation. DC Southside Hitter says, do you think Sweat can have an impact like Khalil Mack? I don't like comparing rookies to established all-pro football players. Like last week, people were throwing out the name Darryl Green with Jimmy Moreland. Like, don't do that to a rookie. We got to see Sweat first for us to start throwing out comparisons as to what he can be. I don't know if his game necessarily compares to Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack's hands are among the most violent I've ever seen in an NFL player. And that was even in college when he was at Buffalo. I remember the game against Ohio State where he destroyed the Buckeyes tackle. And I think it was the Detroit Lions first round pick that year in, goddamn, I can't remember his first name or his first or last name, but he destroyed him. And his hands are so violent. I don't think Montez Sweat's hands are as violent as Khalil Mack's. But his length is ridiculous, is Max or Sweat. So we'll see. We'll see. Cody Smith says Landon Collins has been good at stopping the run, but he had Dalton. But had Dalton not overthrown the tight end, Collins would have gave up a TD. That's pretty much what I said. Adrian Peterson with his first carry looking nice and spry. That's a hell of a run by AD right there. AD with a nasty jump cut in the hole to pick up about a gain of, let's call it 17, maybe 22. Nasty jump cut right there in the hole. Boy, he still got it, man. God damn. And I know we saw it all year last year, but Jesus, it's just crazy to think how old he is and how good he still looks, man. He keeps his body in tremendous shape, and that's a hell of a run there. That's a gain of about 23 on that run and 25 yards into Bengals territory. Case Keenum in. Throws a slant to Vernon Davis for a gain of 15. Another 15 there. So Redskins offensively rolling right now. 2 plays, 40 yards. 42 yards. That was a gain of 17 on a slant to VD. And so that was a nice throw in rhythm by Case Keenum. And just like that, 2 plays, Redskins are deep into Bengals territory. Let's see how this drive ends. You've got Vernon Davis on the field along with Kidsey. Looks like, I want to say that's Josh Doxson. Trying to see who that is. Peterson with another run, this time a gain of 5. So, and Jerron Christian and Eric Flowers, just for you guys who aren't watching, are starting on the left side. But I think we all know why that is. I think Josh Doxson is out on the field along with Brian Quick and Kidsey getting the start inside at the slot position for Trey Quinn tonight. So those are your receivers right now. Josh Doxson and Quinn and Brian Quick are on the field. And this throw is to Quick, who drops the football. If he's trying to make the roster, that's not how you do it. That was a good throw from Case Keenum there on an outbreaking route. Would have been a gain of 12 and a first down. Instead, it's a drop, which brings up third and about, let's call it 6. So that's a missed opportunity there for Brian Quick on that particular play. Got to catch the football. That was a well-thrown ball by Keenum in timing and rhythm. Got to catch the football. We'll see what the Redskins decide to do and who's on the field on this third down now. Redskins come out in the shotgun. Chris Thompson's on the field, in the backfield, along with same 3 receivers, as I mentioned earlier, and Vernon Davis. No Jordan Reed in this game. Let's see if the officials blow the whistle. They're going to call offsides. They jumped early. Redskins offensive linemen put their arms out to touch the defender after he jumped. And so let's see if that's enough for a first down or if that just brings the Redskins a little bit closer. So the starting right side is in of Rouye, Sheriff, and Momo. And the other, like I said, the left side is comprised of Eric Flowers at left guard and Jerron Christian Sr. at left tackle. That gives the Redskins a 3rd and 2 now after the 5-yard penalty. Keenum with plenty of time, flushes to his right, finds a wide open Brian Quick, who catches it this time, makes a defender miss, puts his head down, picks up an additional 7 yards on the play, but there's a flag. Holding offense on Chase Rouye. So that's going to negate the 14-yard conversion on 3rd down. And that holding was on it looked like it was on Sheriff more so than Rouye. Both of them were holding the defender, though. So it's a good call. So both of those guys are caught with their hand in the cookie jar. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 12 now. Let's see if the Redskins can convert. Same 3 receivers, Kidsey, Doxson, and Brian Quick, with Vernon Davis on the field at tight end. Keenum, I thought he did a poor job of utilizing the pocket there. I actually thought the protection was good enough. I thought he could have escaped the pocket. He waited too long, and then the defense got to him. I didn't like the way he manipulated the pocket there. Thought he could have gotten out and extended that play and bought more time. But one of the linemen ultimately ended up getting beat, but he had time initially. So it's a 50-yard field goal now for D-Hop. Oh, my God. And so D-Hop misses this one. Now, if you want to talk about D-Hop and ask about a potential backup or competition, now you can ask. He straight hit a line drive bullet. I don't know what the hell that was about. His foot might have slipped from under him. Either way, I don't care about excuses. I just care about results. And that was a missed 50-yard field goal. And so it's preseason for everybody, but he's got to get his act together. Because we can't, again, we're not going to be a good enough team to be able to miss scoring opportunities. That's 4 points the Redskins have left on the board now with missed opportunities on an extra point and now a field goal. And really a holding penalty that negated a first down that would have kept the drive alive and potentially put the Redskins in a position to score a touchdown. So a lot of mistakes by this Redskins football team right now, hurting them as it's now still 6-0. Let's get to some more of your comments. Remember, you want your comment read. If it's pertinent, use the hashtag LouieTLive to have your comment read on the air. Ryan Heath says, "What's this? Fans at Redskins game and they're making noise? Weird." Not a lot of them, I can tell you that much. Not a lot of them at all. Cody Smith, we talked about this before, but I want to rehash it again. Landon Collins was beat on that play on the overthrow to Tyler Eifert. It would have been a touchdown had that been an accurate throw. I mentioned that when the action was live, but Cody Smith mentioned it again. John Perez says, good start to the game, but the flags are flying all over the place. I agree. I do not like when the officials inject themselves into the game, which they have early on. But there also are mistakes by both teams early on to force the officials to be throwing flags. Buffalo pregame says Norman needs to chill. Yeah, you can't lose your cool like that. Give up 30 yards of it was a bad call, but you can't make a bad call worse by picking up an additional flag there. So can't have that. Buffalo pregame says so many flags, indeed. He also says nice pick six. Geo Bove says who's starting running backs and wide receivers. So tonight, as I mentioned, Brian Quick, Kidsey getting the start in the slot, and play action fake for the Bengals. Sweat trying to get around the edge. Look, find the ball. Dalton went up top, tried to try Dunny on the outside. Dunny was in great position, and then at the last second, looked back for the football. That's a good job of Dunny. If he'd have located it a little sooner, he might have been able to pick that off. Look, and I think because he looked back for the ball, they didn't call the flag. But your running back starting the game was Adrian Peterson. And Chris Thompson was in on third down. And a tackle by Josh Norman on an outbreaking route on about a good 6-yard completion. And so now that's going to set up a 3rd and 4. Your starting receivers for the game were Kidsey in the slot, and your receivers on the outside were Brian Quick and Josh Dotson. Tight end starting in the game, Vernon Davis. Sweat is in on a 3rd and 4. He was in on this entire possession. He almost got some pressure on the play action fake on first down. I'm watching him closely on this 3rd down. And he wasn't able to get there. They're going to call a holding penalty on the Bengals here. And that's going to come back after Dalton was able to scramble for 6 and a first down on 3rd and 4. But this is coming back. So they're going to call holding on the Bengals. So now that's going to set up 3rd and 14 now. So just like the Redskins, they are killing themselves with penalties. And let's see who they called it on. Because Sweat was trying to win to the inside. He wasn't able to get free, but there was a defender on the ground at his feet that was stopping him from being able to go to the inside there. So now it's an obvious passing situation at 3rd and 14. But I think it's going to be something like a draw or a screen. I don't think it's going to be a drop back situation where Cincinnati tries to actually pick up this first down. I think it's going to be something simple, kind of a give up play here. Oh, a false start on Cincinnati. Man, this game has been sloppy. Their running back took off before the snap of the ball. So I'm assuming you're going to get another false start here and back them up an additional 5 yards. So now it's 3rd and 19 for Cincinnati. They are absolutely killing themselves with penalties early in this football game. So if it wasn't a screen or a draw before at 3rd and 14, it is definitely a screen or a draw on 3rd and 19. So I don't expect much on this particular play. Thus, I don't think we're going to get to really see Sweat pin his ears back and go after the quarterback here, because you got to be wary of a screen or a draw or something like that here. And they throw the wide receiver screen out to the perimeter. You knew it was going to be a screen or a draw. That was an easy call. You know, when it's that long of a distance to go, you're not going to try anything. And so the Redskins actually have John Allen get out there and make the tackle on that play. So that's going to bring up 4th and long and a Bengals punt. And I want to see this Redskins offense and what they're able to do. I'm, again, anxious to see who's back there returning punts. It continues to be number 31. Yeah, the Wilson kid actually has a really good return. Okay. And he's going to get a penalty at the end for grasping the helmet on the inside of the helmet. So, hey, That's a really good return by this Wilson kid, man. Again, I don't know if he can make the squad or not, but we don't have a definitive punt returner. If there's a way to make the football team, it's going to be as a punt returner. So about a good 23-yard return by Wilson, and then you tack on an additional 15 for the grasping of the helmet, and that's a hell of a return there. So I don't know if he really has a realistic shot at making the football team or not. I don't think so, but he's been back there fielding every single punt for the Redskins this preseason. So I don't know. We'll see. Redskins Pride says Greg Stroman may have a tough time making the 50. I've already scratched Greg Stroman off of the 53-man roster. I don't think he has a shot at making his football team. He hasn't been healthy this camp, and I just don't think the Redskins are keeping any more than 6 defensive backs, and I don't think he's going to be one of them. But there's still time. If he comes back healthy next week and is able to field some punts and does a great job, he may be able to salvage this thing. But I don't anticipate him doing that at all. I really don't know who we're going to put back on punts, but right now Wilson has fielded every single punt. I'm trying not to read too much into that, but I can only go off of what I've seen, and he's been the only guy back there on punts thus far. Cody Smith says, I hate when they use AP out of the gun. In my opinion, he's best when he's 7 yards deep in the single eye formation. I agree with you. I think he's a back that is better when he is back behind the quarterback, either dotting the I or in single back, as you mentioned, and able to get the football and able to see the defense from 7 yards deep. I think he has a better track to the line of scrimmage when he is able to see. But he made a hell of a cut on that first run. That's for damn sure. And he's looking nasty like he always does, which is what Boba Sis says. AP looking nasty, he says. Yes, he did on that first run. Geo Bove says, new kicker. Now, again, I'm a D-Hop guy. I don't think we need to run D-Hop out of town after 2 missed kicks tonight. First one wasn't on him. That second one definitely on him. The field may be a little slick because of rain earlier, but again, I'm not going to make excuses for him. It may rain in the regular season. You've got to keep your footing and make the damn kick. He slipped on the turf when he went to plant, and the ball came out really low. So he's 0 for 2 tonight in that department. Farrah Cody says, is Terry playing? I would assume he's playing. The only receivers that I heard that weren't playing tonight were Trey Quinn and Paul Richardson Jr. So I would assume we'll see Terry McLaurin with Dwayne Haskins later. AD gets the carry as my man Cody Smith said earlier, 7 yards deep in the single back formation. But he goes nowhere for a gain of about 1 or 2. So we'll see what the Redskins do on this possession. Case Keenum still in at quarterback. AD still in at running back. And your receivers are still Quick, Doxson, and Kidsey, who's in the slot. They hand it to AD again. Penetration off the right side. In the backfield, loss of 2 yards. Going to set up 3rd and 9 after a 2-yard loss on the outside zone run that goes nowhere. So 3rd and long. We'll see if the Redskins can convert as Chris Thompson comes onto the field. Same 3 receivers. And I'm going to assume that Vernon Davis will be your lone tight end along with Chris Thompson in at running back. And that is correct. They're going to start with a bunch formation to the left of the formation. Dotson up top by himself. Thompson in the backfield. And Case Keenum in the gun. Blitz off the corner. He throws a jump ball to Dotson, who doesn't know it's coming. It's a bad ball. Miscommunication. They weren't on the same page. It's incomplete. Pressure off the edge immediately. Forced Keenum to get rid of it quickly. To no one really in particular, even though he was aiming for Dotson. Dotson released to the inside. Ball was thrown to the outside. It's incomplete. So Jay's talking to Keenum right now, telling him, look, you're going to give him an opportunity to go up and get it. Throw it where he can go and get the football. And Case is trying to convince Kevin O'Connell and Jay Gruden that, he was throwing it to the outside and Doxson released to the inside. But whatever the case may be, Redskins have to punt. After the great punt return and excellent field position, they do nothing with it. And on comes Tress Way to punt the football. Fair catch inside the Redskins 10-yard line at the 7. They mark him at the 8. And so that's where the Bengals will start their next drive. We'll see if Andy Dalton comes back on or if he's done for the night. This will be the Bengals' third possession. Great punt by Tress Way. Last year, he was our best football player, which is not a good thing. Hopefully, he continues to kick the shit out of the ball like he did last year. But this time, we have other guys perform at a high level. And Andy Dalton is no longer in the game, so his night is done. And the Redskins are subbing in their guys as well. No more starting secondary. Jimmy Moreland is in. And the front 7 has also been subbed out. So Ryan Anderson is the only starter in the game now from earlier, as Sweat is still in at defensive end. Along with Ryan Anderson, they've subbed in a couple of defensive tackles, Tim Settle being the main guy, along with B. Also, the whole secondary has been switched. Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie in at corner along with Jimmy Moreland. Your two safeties are now DeShazer Everett and Troy Apke. And the two linebackers in the game are now trying to see the two backers in. I don't know who number 50 is. I'm thinking of Martrell Spate still. Sweat did a great job of stacking there on that play, helping make the tackle. Still haven't seen Cole Holcomb tonight in the game. Josh Harvey Clemens is in along with number 50. I'm going to get that name for you here in a second. Oh, man, Sweat almost got to him on 3rd and long. Sweat put his arm out. Flowers is the linebacker. Montez Sweat almost got to the quarterback. He almost hit home there as he came off the edge and he tried to turn the corner. Quarterback did a great job. Their rookie, Ryan Finley, stepped up and Sweat stuck out his long arm and almost got a piece of his jersey. So he's getting close. He's not in the game right now. They subbed him out, subbed in McKenzie, Casanova McKenzie. Check down to the back out of the backfield. He's cut down on the play by Greg Stroman. So Stroman didn't play last week, so this is his first action of the preseason. And he's got some ground to make up. And I would love to see him get back there on punts. Like I said, if he's going to make this football team, he's going to have to double as a punt returner. So we'll see. But Stroman is in along with Jimmy Moreland and Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie. So DRC, Stroman, and the People's Corner, Jimmy Moreland, in as your 3 corners. So 5 defensive backs, 2 backers, and 4 defensive linemen. End of the first quarter. 2nd and 8 when we return to the game for the Bengals as the Redskins have them still deep in Redskins territory. 6-0 is the score. The lone score of the game, pick 6 by safety. Shit. Can't think of his name right now. I'm drawing a blank. It'll come to me. Anyway. Haven't seen Terry McLaurin yet. I'm assuming he's going to play with the second team. Gaming with D says, I thought Nick Rose was better than D-Hop. I didn't. Nick Rose was inconsistent. Remember, he did hit that 8-yarder or whatever it was. Crazy long field goal he hit, but he missed some other kicks too. So, let's see. Orlando McManus says, What's up? HTTR. Ron Cole III says the running back said, I'm out. Let's see. Wahoo Brad 24 says, should we expect to see Geis tonight? I saw Geis on the sidelines. Didn't look like a guy that was going to play. He was in uniform, but he didn't look like a guy that was going to play any meaningful snaps tonight. So I would say no on Geis. And I heard he still hasn't really been cleared to play in a game yet. So I'll say no Geis tonight. Just Andre says the special team is a concern. Yes, at least tonight it has been. They weren't. Yeah, know what? You're right. Last week we gave up a punt return for a touchdown, and I get it. Late in the game, bunch of backups, dudes that probably won't even be on his roster. I don't care. Still, special teams hasn't been sharp this year. And remember, we have a new special teams coordinator. Our special teams coordinator took a lateral job in Atlanta. All right? So we don't have the same special teams coordinator. And while he was here the last 2 years, we were good on special teams. Now we got a new special teams coordinator. So there could be issues coming for this team in 2019 on special teams. Remember that. New special teams coordinator. Boba Sis says, it's Haskins time. I don't know yet. We'll see on the next possession if it's Haskins time or not. 2nd and 11 for the Bengals. As it's a quick throw. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie comes up, makes the quick tackle. So it's a gain of about 5. Going to set up a 3rd and 6. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see Geis tonight, and someone else just pretty much said he hasn't been cleared to play. And I heard the same thing, that he hasn't been cleared to play, so I don't think we're going to see Geis. I wouldn't be shocked if we didn't see him in next week's preseason game either. So, you know, they're not going to rush him back. I can tell you that much. Redskins come with 4 and often soft, and Ryan Finley makes them pay on 3rd down and 6 with about a good 11-yard completion over the middle of the football field. Easy completion there. Slot receiver Alex Erickson just hooks up, and he finds him over the middle of the field. A little bit of pressure from McKenzie off the edge, and Sweat tried to get there a little bit later, but not enough pressure to affect the play. All right, they're running at Sweat. He's not able to disengage, but Tim Settle able to disengage and get to the ball carrier for about a 3 or 4 yard gain. All right. All right, so the Redskins come with a blitz here. A completion in front of Jimmy Moreland as they blitz Troy Apke off the corner. He wasn't able to get there in time. Good quick decision by Ryan Finley, who is looking really good at the quarterback position as a rookie out of NC State. A quarterback that I really liked in this draft. And he looks good so far. And so it's a 1st down after the quick completion over the middle of the field into Redskins territory at the Redskins 44-yard line. 1st and 10. Play action fake. Redskins come with a blitz and wide open receiver. Wide ass open as they gain about 17 on the play. Moreland with another tackle, but not before another big completion is given up. Redskins came with a blitz. And they actually got to Finley. Josh Harvey Clemens was draped all over him as he threw that football. Kind of came out wobbly even. But no Redskins around Cody Core on the catch. And it's another big gain for the defense. Or for the Bengals offense, against the Redskins' second team defense. Sweat still in the game along with Casanova McKenzie as your edge rushers. Another blitz here. Wide open in the flats is the tight end. And poor tackling by the Redskins. 2 missed tackles on guys trying to throw their shoulder around instead of wrapping up. As Mason Shrek makes a gain of about 15 after, should have been a gain of about 7. But 2 guys come up and don't wrap up. The first of which is Greg Stroman. The second guy to not wrap up, Dominique Roger-Cromartie, trying to push him out of bounds. And finally, Troy Apke has to come up and make the tackle, but not before 2 missed tackles nets a gain of 15 or so. So now the Bengals are at the Redskins' 10-yard line. First and goal from the 10. It's a run. And they get a gain of about 5. Down to the 5-yard line. So impressive drive by the Bengals against the Redskins' second-team defense. Redskins need to make a stop. Last week, the Redskins were able to make a stop down here against the Browns. Let's see if they can do it again this week. But Ryan Finley of the Cincinnati Bengals, 7 of 7 right now. Really looking sharp against the Redskins' second-team defense. And we're not applying any pressure on him. We haven't not gotten to Ryan Finley yet. We haven't made him uncomfortable. Wide open tight end, touchdown. Drew Sample, their second-round pick out of Washington with the touchdown as the Bengals move it right down the field. And 8 for 8 now for Ryan Finley as there was a miscommunication between the Redskins defenders. Jimmy Moreland and DeShazer Everett run into each other on a kind of a pick play by the 2 Bengal receivers. And they got to communicate better. They got to in and out that, or they got to be able to cross over each other. They can't run into each other there. And Moreland ran into DeShazer Everett, made it for an easy score for the tight end. And now Randy Bullock is on to tack on the extra point to give the Bengals the lead. And he misses. So it's still 6-6. Randy Bullock is a bum, but he actually kicked the football well for them last year, but he's a bum. But kicking game has struggled for both teams early on, but impressive drive by the Bengals. And let's see if it's Haskins time. Somebody in the chat discussion said it's Haskins time. Boba Sis said that. I don't know if it's Haskins time yet. Monte Nicholson, thank you, was the recipient of that tipped pick 6. Let's see what you guys have to say. Excuse me. So, I want to address something now, since we got a little bit of time and there are no comments right now to be had. I was amazed at how many of you guys kind of shot down the idea of trading for Jadeveon Clowney. I agree with a lot of you that I would prefer the picks and not having to pay the money that it's going to take to get Clowney. Now, from what I'm hearing, if the Redskins were to trade for him, you can't work out a long-term deal with him because the June 16th deadline was the time that you have to reach a long-term deal, which we've heard in the past, that July deadline for guys with a franchise tag. If you don't reach a long-term deal by that July deadline, you then cannot work out a long-term deal and have to wait until after the season is over. And so even if we were to trade for Clowney, it would be for a one-year rental, which I don't know if I would mind as much. But if you're giving up Trent for a one-year rental that you may not be able to sign back, I do have a problem with that. Keep in mind, Clowney is on a franchise tag now, so if you were to try to franchise him again next year, I'm assuming that you would have that 24% increase on what he's already making this year. So I don't think the Redskins would be interested in that. But, you know, just on a strictly hypothetical situation where I'm just like, hey, Trent for Clowney straight up, I would do that in a heartbeat. You know, forget about the money for a second. A lot of you were like, nah, I don't want to pay him. I want draft picks. I'm good. I'm shocked. A lot of you are like, nah, we good at edge rusher. We got Sweat. We got Kerrigan. And I'm like, that's just crazy talk to me. You can never have too many edge rushers. You can never have enough guys getting to the quarterback. Clowney's an impact player. I was just shocked that more of you guys weren't on board with that. I was really shocked. But I actually love the fact that a lot of you guys were trying to be fiscally responsible and you didn't want to spend the money and you didn't want to, you know, put the Redskins in a financial bind. You're thinking about younger, cheaper options in the draft and that kind of thing. But too many of you were too content with what we have up front. Like, no, we're good. You know, we don't. It's still Case Keenum, guys. But Cam Sims is now in the game. Cam Sims is now in the game. Josh Doxson, Samaje Perine in the game now. Still the starting offensive line with Cam Sims, Josh Doxson, and it's a 2 tight end set. So both Sprinkle Me, bitch, Sprinkle Me, and Vernon Davis are in the game along with Perine. This is probably a run here on first down. It's a fake to Perine, play action fake, wide open Vernon Davis over the middle. Keenum hits him in stride. Beautiful throw. VD with about a good catch and gain of about 22 there. So that's a nice start to the drive and a nice response after the it's a nice little response, hopefully, to what they did on their offensive drive. Chris Thompson is now in. They handed off to Chris Thompson. CT has nowhere to go. I mean, absolutely. The right side of our offensive line, and I've told you guys this in the past, we're not a run blocking team. We are a finesse pass blocking offensive line. And the right side of our line is getting dominated. Momo, Sheriff, not having the best night tonight. And then, of course, when you lump the tight ends in there, it just gets even worse in terms of run blocking. And we have had no success. The one run we've had with any success tonight came on the left side, and it took an Adrian Peterson jump cut to make a guy miss at the line of scrimmage to pick up any yardage. So CT loses a yard on that shotgun run, that gun run. It's now 2nd and 11. Ball tipped in the air and almost picked off. So it almost happened to the Redskins, the same thing that happened to the Bengals. They had a slant. It looked like that was to the Sims kid, not Cam Sims, but rather the other Sims. He was open too on the slant. He was open. It's a good batted ball there by the Bengals, because if it wasn't batted, I think that slant is completed, and Steven Sims might have had a big gain on that play. So now it's 3rd and 11. Steven Sims is in the slot. Cam Sims out wide along with Josh Doxson are your 3 receivers. Chris Thompson in the backfield. Sprinkle in. Step up, Case. I don't like the way Case Keenum is manipulating the pocket. He did complete the pass to Jeremy Sprinkle. Sprinkle's going to be about 2 yards short of the first down. Looks like the Redskins might go for it. And they are. Going to be 4th and 2 here after a 9-yard gain to Sprinkle on 3rd and 11. Case Keenum's got to step up right there. There shouldn't have been any pressure. There was a pocket there for him to step up into. He's got to step up. All right, so no more Momo. Momo has been taken out of the game. They got Timon Paris in at right tackle. 4th and 2. Keenum going up top. Has a wide open Steven Sims, who is going to race down the sideline. I think he stepped out at the 2-yard line. Yep. He wasn't able to get in, but Steven Sims, I think it's similar to last week on a broken play. He was wide open. They're going to call offensive pass interference on the Redskins. That's going to negate the big play by Steven Sims. I'd like to see the replay, but he was wide ass open. So I guarantee you somebody was probably Jay Gruden is ready to throw the flag. Jay Gruden has the challenge flag. You can challenge this year. Offensive and defensive pass interference is allowed to be challenged, and Jay Gruden has his flag and he's thrown it. So we're going to get a challenge here. I want to see the replay. I still can't really say whether it was or wasn't OPI, that is. We're going to see what happens here. But Case Keenum with the pass down the sidelines to Steven Sims. We still haven't seen a replay to be able to determine whether it was a pick or not. Was it OPI or not? Jay's going to challenge it. What does he got to lose? It's a preseason game. You want to see how this is gonna go. If you lose this challenge, it's 4th and 12. You lose the timeout. Who gives a shit? You punt the football then. If you win the challenge, you're down inside the Bengals 2-yard line. So it's worth the risk. We'll see what happens. Let's get to some comments though. DMV fan 123 says, "Who's our third quarterback? Who did we sign after Woodrum tore his pec?" I forgot the guy's name, but at the end of the day, I really don't care who we signed. All I care about is Case Keenum and at this point, Dwayne Haskins. Really, I could care less about the third quarterback. I don't even want to see him tonight until the latter portion of the fourth quarter. I don't want to see him at all, whoever that guy is. We Hauling It says, "I heard a rumor that the Skins might trade Jano and Trent for Ramsey in a third." That's a rumor. Not going to happen. I don't see Jacksonville trading Jalen Ramsey. Boba Sis says, "I want Clowney in a first-round pick for Trent, period." I don't know if we're going to get that first rounder. As a matter of fact, I can assure you that the Texans aren't going to add in a first-round pick along with Clowney. Even if they feel like they need to add anything in general. I think they need to, but I've heard a lot of people say that if they trade Clowney, that we would be the team that would have to add something in. I disagree with that, but we'll see what happens. DMV fan 123 says, "I don't care about players that can help now. I want picks that can help this team for the next 5 years. Plus, we're going to suck anyway." I understand that sentiment. I don't think we're going to suck, say 2020 next year, depending on how this season goes. And if Haskins plays in 8 or 9 games and gets his feet wet, we don't necessarily have to suck next year. I think we've got some talent and I think we're building something. But I'm with you on, because I've heard a lot of people say that. "Oh, I want I want somebody that can help now." I'm not so much worried about that. Hold on. So they upheld the call on the field of OPI. Redskins are charged the timeout. It's going to be 4th down. We still haven't seen a replay yet. Oh, man, that's a terrible call. Yeah, that's a bad call, man. The officials have made some really poor calls tonight. That's a good pocket for Case Keenum, though. Offensive line did a tremendous job there. That was a bad call by the officials, though. I didn't like that call. Redskins have to punt now. So this time, Tressway not able to keep the Bengals from getting a touchback. So they're going to start at their own 20-yard line. I didn't like that call, man. I think we got hosed on that one. Cam Sims ran a looks like what amounts to an out and up. Kind of got in the way of the defender, but he didn't run into him like purposefully, like he was setting a pick and a block. I didn't like that call at all, man. And Sims kind of ran a wheel off of that up the sidelines, and he was open. They call it a rail route up the sidelines. I thought that was a bad call, to be honest with you. But, again, what can you do? Now the defense needs to get a stop, get the ball back to the the defense give up a 9-yard run on 1st down. So they get gashed on the first run. And so it's 9-yard gain, 2nd and 1. Tackled by DeShazer Everett after a 9-yard gain. So my question now becomes, if the defense isn't able to get a stop here sooner rather than later, you could easily see Case Keenum play the entire first half and maybe Haskins playing the entire second half. That's what it's looking like right now. We'll see. But they go with the handoff on the 2nd down carry, and the running back was indecisive. He should have gotten a 1st down there. He was indecisive, and that gave the Redskins defensive line a chance to get to him. And so that's going to bring up 3rd and 1 now. He should have gotten a 1st down. All right, James Dean says, "Hope you know you can never be a football commentator. I'm not looking to be one." Penetration. early by Tim Settle. Forces a quick throw and a stop on 3rd and 1. That was beautiful on that play. Tim Settle gets in there early, but I hope Josh Harvey Clemens is okay. Slow to get up on the play. Helmet came off. He's limping a little bit. Hopefully he's all right, but that's a great stop by the Redskins defense there. Tim Settle with early penetration on that play, forcing, and it was a boot anyway to the outside, but it was early penetration by the Redskins defense that forced the quarterback to get rid of the football quickly, and then the Redskins did a great job of rallying to the football and stopping the running back for no gain on that play and forcing a punt on 4th and 1. So Redskins going to get the football back. And Wilson fields the punt and gains about a good 6 yards on the return. And so the Redskins will start at about the Bengals 35 or 36 yard line. Haskins is in, guys. So we're going to see Haskins for the first time tonight. And we'll see if Donald Penn and company are in or if he's going to get some action with the first team offensive line. Daddy Smoke Yam says this officiating crew is struggling mightily. I'd agree with that. I think they're a little flag happy tonight. And I'm not too happy about that. Yin Yang Domain says Keenum isn't a tall guy, probably can't see, LOL. He's not a very tall guy. That's why I think he needs to manipulate the pocket a little bit better. And you're saying that that's why he doesn't step up, because if he steps up too far, he'll be, like Drew Brees in the pocket amongst trees. Hard for him to throw the football then. But he's got to do a better job of taking advantage of the pocket that's in front of him. I don't think he's done a great job of that tonight necessarily. Redskins Pride says Cam Sims is a dangerous man. Yin Yang Domain says, I would like to see Steven Sims and the Duke wide receiver on the practice squad. Your thoughts? You're talking about TJ Ramming and Steven Sims. I think Steven Sims is making a case for the practice squad right now. I don't see any reason why he would not be on the practice squad, and I think he would be one of the first guys the Redskins would call up if, say, Robert Davis does make this roster. I think he would be one of the first guys that they would call up in terms of if something were to happen to one of the receivers. Steven Sims has looked good, especially if one of those receiver injuries turns out to be in the slot, which is what he's been playing primarily. So it'll be interesting to see how he continues to play throughout the preseason. But right now, Jay Gruden seems to have liked what he's seen out of Steven Sims, and I've liked what I've seen as well. As far as TJ Ramming is concerned, haven't seen enough from him. I saw him on tape watching Daniel Jones. There were some drops on tape from him. Haven't been all that impressed with him in the limited action that I've seen him. But again, there's plenty more preseason to go. But right now, the guy that I would like to see on the practice squad out of those two would be Steven Sims. Let's see. All right, so Haskins is in and trying to see who's in on the offensive line. And it's the backup offensive line. Robert Davis is in, and he gets a completion to Haskins gets a completion to Davis to kind of get the jitters going, get the jitters out, and get him an easy completion to get him into a rhythm. And never mind, the Redskins have a penalty, a legal shift, gonna negate the easy 6-7 yard completion. And Kelvin Harmon is in nice and early this week. Remember how I was bitching and complaining last week about him getting limited reps and not being in earlier in the game? Well, he's in nice and early today. Your two receivers right now are Robert Davis. Three receivers, actually. Robert Davis, Kelvin Harmon, and Steven Sims are your three receivers. And Samaje Perine is your running back, and he goes nowhere as he's dropped at the line of scrimmage for a gain of 0 yards. The offensive line that's in the game is a mixed match offensive line. Jerron Christian is still in there. Timon Paris was in earlier at right tackle. So those are your two tackles. I think I saw Bergstrom in at left guard, I think. I'm trying to, or it might be center. I'm trying to see Yeah, Bergstrom is in at center. Eric Flowers is in at left guard. And I can't see who is at right guard, but he got bull rushed on that play. And Haskins takes off and picks up about a gain of. I'm loving this mobility from Haskins. I didn't think that he was that mobile. And Zach Kieran is at right guard, and he got bull rushed on that play, did Zach Kieran, which forced Haskins out of the pocket and forced him to run. And he gets a gain of about 5 on that play, man. I've been really impressed with his mobility thus far in these 2 games. It's 2nd down and 9 after the gain of 6 by Haskins on the ground. We're going to get a flag on Cincinnati here for offsides. Should shorten down the line to gain. Or excuse me, it's 3rd down because Samaje had the no gain run. So now it's 3rd and 4. So a very, very manageable 3rd down now. So let's see if the Redskins can't convert here. I'd like to see them move the sticks here and keep the offense on the field. So Robert Davis, Kelvin Harmon, and Steven Sims are your 3 wide receivers. You've got so Haskins with a quick release to sprinkle out in the flats, and that's going to net the Redskins a 1st down. Great job of Haskins getting it out of his hands quickly. Wasn't the most accurate ball. Forced Sprinkle to have to turn back around and catch it, but Sprinkle with enough athleticism to catch it and get up the field and get the 1st down. So I just like the fact that they converted there. All right. Redskins get to the line of scrimmage quickly. I think this is going to be a run here to Byron Marshall. And it's a fake play. That's a fake. Haskins with plenty of time. Over the middle of the field. Ooh! Just missed Robert Davis. Outstretched arms. I thought that could have been a catch by Robert Davis. If you're a good receiver, if you're above average receiver, you catch that football. I need that one. That's a nice pass by Haskins with touch. You know what? On second thought, seeing that again, that's a tough catch. I think if Davis is able to gather himself and go up for that football, he's able to make that catch. That's a good throw. I'd ask Haskins to throw that football just like that 10 times out of 10. That's a good throw. Handoff to P. Ryan on 2nd and 10, and he only gets 2 yards. So that's going to set up 3rd and 8. And I think we're going to get to the 2-minute warning here. So after the 2-minute warning, P. Ryan comes up a little gimpy on the play. So it's going to be 3rd and 8, and I think we're going to get to the 2-minute warning. And we'll see if Haskins and this offense can convert once again on 3rd down. Still no Terry McLaurin, so don't know what's going on there, if the Redskins are hiding their secret weapon or what the hell's going on, but I know I don't like it. That's for sure. Excuse me. So we hit the 2-minute warning. It'll be 3rd and 8 for the Redskins. It's 6-6 in the game as we hit the 2-minute warning before halftime. Let's see. Hype Do says, let's see. Hype Do says, how would you feel if Haskins throws another 2 picks? It just all depends on how the picks look. I mean, everything is a learning experience, whether he throws touchdowns or picks. It's all on film. It's all a learning experience for him. He's going to make mistakes. Those won't be the last 2 picks he throws, I assure you of that. And so I'm not going to be down on him if he throws another 2 picks tonight. I just want to see him look confident, and I want to see him look comfortable, and he's looked that way thus far early in this game. Let's see. Lindsey Green says, why is McLaurin not playing yet? I don't know. That's a hell of a question. I thought for sure they were saving him for when Haskins got in the game. But I don't know what they're waiting on. I don't know if he tweaked something in practice and they're holding him out. I haven't heard anything of that nature. So I assumed he was healthy. As I mentioned at the top of the show, the only 2 receivers that I heard that wouldn't be playing in this game were Trey Quinn, who has an injury to his thumb, and Paul Richardson Jr., who still hasn't been cleared since off-season surgery to play in any preseason games. So I don't know where Terry McLaurin is. That's a really good question. Just Andre says, what's going on with Terry McLaurin? Again, everyone wants to know. We haven't seen him yet. Last week he played 1 snap. This week I thought he would play a lot more. And we still have a lot of game left. You know, maybe he gets in the second half. But I would have thought he would have been playing by now. And this, usually you see teams trying to hide players when they don't want the rest of the league to get wind of them because they're not going to make the football team. And you don't want teams to pick that player up on waivers. So you kind of try to hide him. McLaurin's making our football team, so what are you hiding right now? Other than you don't want other teams to see what he may be able to bring to the table. But you're still not hiding him. They know the guy has talent. So 3rd and 8, though, for Haskins. Let's see what happens. Same receivers on the football field. Bengals come with a blitz. Haskins stays in the pocket, throws it down the field to Robert Davis for the touchdown. Great job by Haskins, staring down the gun barrel with pressure and throws a bullet, a dart to Robert Davis. Davis making it tough on this coaching staff to not make this football team. It's going to be hard because the Bengals came with a blitz here, and he was going to get hit, and he knew it. He hung in the pocket, and he makes the perfect pass again to Robert Davis. That's the 2nd week in a row Robert Davis has caught the football with his face mask. I'd like to see him catch that with his hands, but whatever. Still, end result is a touchdown. Haskins with a beautiful throw, hung in the pocket. That is gorgeous, folks. And welcome to the NFL, Dwayne Haskins, your first NFL touchdown, even though it's the preseason. All right, D-Hop, they shitting on you. Another bad snap. This time he's able to put it through. Hey, if that's Nick Sundberg with these poor-ass snaps, he needs to get his ass in gear. That was another bad snap, but this time D-Hop able to deposit it. It's a hell of a job of Haskins staying in the pocket, staring down the gun barrel. He knew he was going to get hit here. And he hung in there and still, and look at that throw. On the money, perfect spiral. And Robert Davis running by defenders, man. He's going to make it hard on the team to cut him. I can tell you that much. But Haskins, how about that throw under the breast? How about that throw? Look at Jay Gruden. He's loving it, man. Jay is loving it. Haven't seen that kind of smile on Jay's face in quite some time, man. Everybody's excited about the young kid, man. And I don't think he's going to start week 1. But you know what? If there isn't more separation between he and Case Keenum, between, you know, the next couple of games, you know, the rest of this game and next week's game, you could make a case for Haskins, you know, getting in relatively early, man. I honestly speaking, if you're not overly impressed with Case Keenum, and I don't think he played poorly tonight, but if there isn't enough separation, I think you need to get the young fella out there sooner rather than later. To hell with all of that extra bullshit. The only way he's going to get better is if he plays. And so if you feel like Haskins gives you the best chance to win, stick his ass out there and let him go, man. Turn him loose. But I still think Keenum's the guy right now. But that's a hell of a throw, man. God damn, that's a hell of a throw. Let's get to your comments. I know you guys love that one for sure. Let's see. Redskins Pride says, Robert Davis does not want Doxson on this team. Davis is making some plays, man. That's the 2nd week in a row he's caught it with his face mask. But, again, I don't give a shit how you do it. Just do it. And he did it. And another touchdown for Davis. His 2nd in as many weeks. Good play by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, man, on the breakup there on the outbreaking route. So DRC makes a little bit of a play there to knock loose the football and force the incompletion. It's a good play. Chris Lee says, I'm sorry, P. Ryan is trash. Don't know what JC's in him. JC's a guy that he thinks hasn't had enough opportunities. And you could call P. Ryan trash, but our offensive line doesn't do him any favors. He's not like AD. He's not going to make guys miss. He needs space to operate. And our offensive line isn't great at giving space. Still haven't seen Cole Holcomb at all tonight. Jimmy Moreland, the people's corner, with the tackle on the bubble screen for a loss of about 3 on that play. Shades of Kendall Fuller. Remember, Fuller used to always sniff out these quick hitters to the outside. and make tackles for loss. The people's corner, Jimmy Moreland, just did it. Jimmy, I want to score. Moreland with the tackle. And now it's 3rd and long, and the Redskins smartly use a timeout because they want to get the football back to Dwayne Haskins and this offense. And you get a chance to see him in 2 minutes. So I like the idea. It's 3rd and long now. If you can get a stop here, get off the field, you're going to get the football back with a considerable amount of time and at worst 1 timeout. So Redskins looking to get some really good work in if they can get a stop here and get the football back. Gio Bove says, JHC is hurt. I talked about him limping off the field on that last possession, but he's back on the field now, so he's good. All right, so it's a dump down to the back, so we should be able to rally, make this tackle, and get off the field here, and the Redskins do that. Timeout stops the clock with 1:21 left, and you got a timeout left. So the Redskins going to get the football back, should get good field position, and are going to have a timeout left. So I love this situation. This is great situational football for Dwayne Haskins in the 2-minute drill. So this is awesome. Just Andre says, are they hiding Cole Holcomb also? I don't know what happened with Holcomb, but I know he's not on the field. And we may learn later that, again, remember, this is the preseason. If a guy has anything, I'm talking about if he's got a pinched toenail, he's not playing in the preseason. All right? They're holding out any and everybody for any and every injury. All right? No matter how small or big, if you've got any kind of ailment, they're not going to play you in the preseason. So we may come to find out that Cole Holcomb or McLaurin had something going on, or they just decided to hold those guys out. As I told you last week, Jay said there are going to be games where guys just don't play for whatever reason. So we'll see. But, hey, we get to see Haskins in the 2-minute. I'm excited about this. I don't know about you. Yin Yang Domain says, who is on the O-line now? I pretty much went over it, but I'll give you the offensive line again. Gerard Christian at left tackle. Flowers, Eric Flowers at left guard. Tony Bergstrom at center, at right guard, Zach Kieran, and at right tackle, Timon Paris are your offensive linemen. Same 3 receivers let's see if Davis is still in. Harmon is in. Jeremy Sprinkle with a drop. Harmon is in. Cam Sims is in, and I think they got Kidsey in for Sims, the other Sims. So that would have been a completion. That was a perfect throw by Haskins to Jeremy Sprinkle on a quick outbreaking route that would have picked up about a gain of 8 or 9, and Sprinkle just simply dropped the football. So same 3 receivers, Kidsey, Sims, Cam Sims in the slot, and Kelvin Harmon with Byron Marshall in the backfield. Great pocket for Haskins. He dumps it down to Kidsey, who tried to get out of bounds but couldn't. A gain of about 6. So Redskins are probably going to have to use their last timeout. And they do burn their final timeout. They may have to put on wait, hold on. Cincinnati has a defender down. So that's going to force the Bengals to use their timeout. And I think the Redskins actually get to keep their last timeout. So the Redskins should have 1 timeout left. Because initially the timeout was charged to the Redskins. Okay, so the Redskins have 2 new members this year of the Ring of Fame. They're inducting Chris Samuels and London Fletcher. 2 really good Redskins over the last 20 years, man. Samuels was a rocket left tackle for about a good 9-year stretch before a neck injury caused him to shorten his career. But he's a hell of a Redskin. Haskins under duress, and he's sacked. Zach Kieran got beat like he stole something on that play. I watched him get beat with a swim move. Haskins had nowhere to go, and he gets sacked, and that's going to kill this drive. Or, excuse me, let me apologize. That was Tony Bergstrom who got beat on a twist inside. Kerry Wynn just beat him on a swim move. Tony Bergstrom was funky on that play. Went around him with ease, too. Jesus. So Redskins have to punt now. That is not what I had in mind when the Redskins got the football back with 1:21 left. All right. So Tressway gets the punt off. It bounces at the 30. It's fielded at the 23 and tackled at the 22. Daddy Smoke Yam says Robert Davis had both Geis and McCoy's injury on the same play. For that dude to be on the field is amazing. Yeah. I listened to him talk last week about how fortunate he felt like he was and how blessed he was to be on the field at this point because of how, catastrophic the injury was last year this time. So, happy for him getting back on the field. And looking good, too, at that. Dump down, Josh Harvey Clemens with the tackle. Good to see him back in the game after leaving the game earlier with a little bit of a limp. Scott Lowe says, I hear you about Haskins possibly starting, but against a defense that is game planning during regular season, and that O-line just doesn't sound good. Again, Haskins is going to see defenses game planning for him anyway when he finally does play. If you don't think there's a great difference between Haskins and Keenum, then you just start the process sooner. So whether you do that in week 1 or week 3 or week 7, doesn't really matter. Whenever you think Haskins gives you the best chance to win, you put him in. And if that's week 1, I'm all for it. Not saying that I think that he gives us the best chance to win right now. But again, I'm not in practice every day. I don't know what they see. But I'm just telling you right now, if Case Keenum is not separating himself and he's not blowing you away, and you feel like you can get the same production, if not better, out of Haskins, what are you waiting for? Pull the trigger. Oh, man. Greg Stroman was right there on a pass, and there was pressure on Ryan Finley there, too. Off the edge by Ryan Anderson. That was some good pressure by Ryan Anderson. He just missed a sack. Lindsey Green says, the defense is playing fast today. I like it. Trey Torius says, Redskins got to make some better trades for O-linemen. Way too many mental lapses in key situations. Again, the question is depth. There was a bad holding earlier on Chase Rouillet and Brandon Sheriff. And we had a bad miss just now by Tony Bergstrom. So Finley looking to throw a Hail Mary. And he's going to get an opportunity to do it. And he throws the Hail Mary. There's a flag on the play. We'll see what the flag is, but that's going to take us to halftime if it's on the Bengals. If it's on the Redskins. Okay, it's on the Bengals, so that's going to take us to halftime. Derek B says, what the hell is wrong with Jay? Put the starting O-line out there and give the kid a chance in the 2-minute drill. I just don't understand why he won't leave them out there for one series with Dwayne Haskins. Look, Haskins just scored a touchdown with that same offensive unit in terms of the line, so I'm not going to kill Jay for that, but I want to see him with the first-team offense. Like, I want to see him with guys that are going to be on this roster, guys that are going to be playing, that are going to be starting. I agree with you that I thought that both quarterbacks should have seen first-string offensive linemen today, but they will next week, I believe. I really do believe that. But in any event, it is what it is. Chris K says, I've been saying all offseason to start Haskins day one. He would develop best playing, not with a clipboard. Hashtag start Haskins, HTTR. I hear you, bro. I don't necessarily disagree with that. Again, my thing is play whoever gives you the best chance to win. If that guy is Case Keenum, I'm all for it. But if there isn't a big enough difference, and there needs to be a dramatic difference between Case Keenum and Dwayne Haskins, if there isn't a clear delineation between the two, where you can say, hey, right now with Haskins at quarterback, our ceiling is here. And with Case Keenum, our ceiling is here with the offense. If it's with Keenum, the ceiling is here, and with Haskins is here, just play Dwayne Haskins. All right, let's get the future started sooner. So we'll see. But in any event, I'm going to kill this stream, and we'll come back for the second half. You guys join me, because I think we're going to get more Haskins in the second half. We're still waiting on Terry McLaurin. Maybe he'll play, maybe he won't. We haven't seen Cole Holcomb. I haven't heard why we haven't seen Cole Holcomb. I'm assuming we're not going to see him if we haven't seen him to this point. We haven't seen the other left side of the line yet in Donald Penn and Wes Martin. So I'm looking forward to seeing those guys. So still a lot to see with this football team. So join me for the second half. I am a Redskins fan, etched in burgundy and gold. My Redskins spirit will never die. Redskins spirit will never fold until we meet again. That should be the second half. Hail to our beloved Redskins. I will see you guys on the other side of the halftime break. See you in a bit.
Louie T Network.